2026. Like plain March is rounding off. Yee. But it's a pleasure, it's a delight to always share my mornings with you. This is your tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Fumi Bangala. This is the Daily News Review program, where we look through or we run through the headlines for the day, and then we tackle the ones that caught our eye for that day. Again, this is Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on our website, www.wfm917.com. Our analyst will join us shortly, and then we can get into the thick of things. But before then, we will be taking the headlines for this morning, running through it, and then, I suppose top of the list is that fuel prices are increasing. We don't know when it is going to end, but we've been seeing so much movement, a lot of, how do I explain this? A lot of people are talking about this. Even other countries are making moves to forestall the effect of the war between Iran, Israel, and the United States, to just make sure that we are okay. So let's get into it. Okay.
Yes, let's get into it.
Cyrus.
Hi, Fumi. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Okay, I'm good. How are you? Because now you're supposed to answer this question. How you doing, Fumi?
I'm still recovering, Rose.
Yeah, I can hear it from your voice.
Yesterday, on first of all, I should say thank you to you for standing in for me yesterday. But yesterday, I got up by 4 a.m. because my body is...
Oh, your body's used to it.
Is used to it. Then on the other hand is that once I wake up, I have it, like, I don't even know if it's a sleep disorder. I don't even know what to call it. But once I wake up, I'm unable to go back to bed.
Oh.
So yesterday, I was telling Emmanuel yesterday, I had to beg God to say, please give me sleep. No, actually, I said, let me do 5 minutes. I'll go to work. Because I was like, what's the point? I'm already awake. Do you get? But I hadn't spoken or heard what I sounded like. When I now finally got up at 7, I didn't even get up. I was hearing the children move around. I had to say, wait, that's literally how I was speaking yesterday morning. I was like, no. I said, I could not speak. I couldn't believe it. I tried, but my daughter, I don't even think I saw my children. No, I didn't see them yesterday morning. Those ones, God said, they were dragging so bad. But yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, I had my birthday party.
They know. I had to tell them. They know.
Oh, you did?
So
my birthday party.
I was supposed to deliver the message of Evangelist Dixon that you should bring and everything. So it's just I remembered it. I'm delivering that he's waiting for his cake and all of the bobo to go that happened.
Evangelist Dixon, thank you. I had such a beautiful birthday. People didn't know that my birthday was actually on Sunday. And I'm not a believer in postponing birthdays. So, like, if your birthday falls on a day, I'd rather just celebrate it on that day than move it. Except maybe you're doing surprise for the person. If you do surprise on the day, the person will most likely suspect. But surprise, you can say, let's do it the day before, whatever like that. But yeah, Sunday I was just cheesing all through. Rose was looking so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Our HR came, Emmanuel came. I felt so loved on Sunday. I felt so loved. I was like, yay. Rose, I have your souvenir.
No, when you come. You said
I'm seeing your hair. Okay. I love it for you. Okay, let's get into it. We're just gonna go through enough of our chit chat. So I'm going to go through our headlines this morning. Starting off with the Punch newspaper, we have. I'm not sure where my laptop is. Punch, where are you? We have Lagos Task Force arrests 5 for alleged extortion on highways. I'm glad about this. I think it was even this time last week as well. We're talking about the some police officers that were arrested in Delta State. So yes, this is good because highways that you should be checking if people are safe. You know, to be checking that people are safe, you are extorting them. When people travel, a lot of people complain that when they are traveling, you'll read like 10, I know that 10 is really little, more than 20 checkpoints, and then it's not that they're checking if, particulars or whatever, they're asking you for money. And so we have a begging culture that is so sad. And I'm glad that this is happening. At least now it is being looked into. And we hope that it will continue to be looked into. Next up, we have new HIV injection, lenacapavir, not for pregnant women. So this injection is to prevent HIV, apparently. So, yeah, federal government wants. Yep, those are the headlines from the Punch newspaper.
Okay, so let's head on to the Guardian newspaper. Your government issues heat wave alert, warns of health risk.
Yeah, so
like, hey, the heat
is hitting.
And the electricity companies are not even helping issues. Although I know there are, backlog of a whole lot of issues, just happening in the background. But yesterday my dad bought solar fan.
Oh, I'm sure it was expensive because now that it's heat, it'll be way more expensive.
I think the one he got was close to 100.
Yeah,
that's because he just said, I'm not buying anything more than 100. I'm looking at myself and say, away. How are we going to do like this? And I actually bought it because of my mom. And you know how menopause can hit women.
My God.
Internal hits. Like, I'm already looking at myself, if I now reach menopause, this is what I'll be facing. And I'm looking at all our elderly, because I remember sometimes someone will come here and be shouting, you people don't talk about menopause enough on radio. It's because you people are too young. That is why people don't talk about it. You people will reach. You will reach it. So when you
Jesus, it can't be like cause.
There was one time when Esther was here, someone would say, Rose, Esther, you people will not talk about menopause, so be doing your own. Just be doing your own. Your time will come. Don't talk about it. You think we're finding it funny?
No, but the thing is, you can only talk about things that affect you personally. Do you get? So, but I get it. Most of the time when we talk about some things, you hear the passion when we talk about some things because that's what we're going through. Other things you're like, wait, that is going on. So
So the hits that my mom. Sometimes she just finds where the AC is directly and sits down and just sits directly. Like, this is not going to affect you. She's like, don't worry, don't worry. God have mercy, woman, Anyway,
please. A woman, oh, my sister, my God.
I beg, this heat is too much. Let's try as much as possible. If you have access to water, please, bath, as much as you can during the day. Take cool water. Avoid places that are too jam-packed. So look for air anywhere you can get the air. Just go with it. If not, it will just be you will spend much more. In fact, me that hardly do rashes this season, I got the heat rash.
People are putting dusting powder on their faces. You just be passing, you just see people with powder, whites.
And the rain has just refused to even come. Sometimes you see
that rain fall on Sunday. It brought more heat.
I want to be rain. Anyway, let's move on. Kaduna victims demand El-Rufai's prosecution over demolitions and sackings. This is what El-Rufai do for Kaduna.
Give us this. Tell us. That's where you're from. Tell us.
The things that El-Rufai did in Kaduna, even when this whole case started, somewhere in my mind, I it's not like I want to use my mouth to say it, but somewhere in my mind, like, the evil that you have done is catching up.
Away. He was a Jagaban,
and he was doing it in one kind of subtle way like that. Like, and then everybody
you can't hold him to say Naim do, but you know say Naim do.
You get that kind of thing. You get it. Even the places where the development were even going on, those people were crying because you would just wake up one day and say, oh, this place, you need to demolish it to build kiniko once, and then he would demolish it and you will not even see the things. Also, or sometimes what he will build there. And it's not just about probably all those, how will I even mention those kinds of places, environments where usually you just see maybe different sort of small houses, people just managing themselves, and but all in town. No, he would come and demolish that kind of place and will not give them an option. And sometimes even people that have built the big houses gone safe, he will go there. No, that was a lot, and he was sacking people left, right, and center. The teachers then, oh, trust me, no. You don't want to know. Let me know if I enter Southern Kaduna safe. Anyway, let's head on to this day.
It is well with us in this country. In this day newspaper, we have petroleum price hike. Makinde approves 10,000 allowance for civil servants. That's good. I'm not going to even shout at anybody and say it's too small or anything, because the prices are not smiling right now. So that's good. 2027, it's my turn to govern Ogun. Goiga Isiaka declares.
Okay, calm down. It's Ogun State people that we know whose turn it is.
Whose turn it is? Oh, legit.
Just be calming down. All right, heading on to Daily Trust. Fintiri is APC leader in Adamawa, says Shetima. Another one says EFCC seals Malami's houses. ICPC arraigns El-Rufai. All right, let's head on to the Vanguard.
In the Vanguard, we have PDP crisis. You started fight, you couldn't win. Wike slams back in the. When I started this one, I said, okay.
It's not another part to us like this. Another season.
Okay. He said, Wike say, you chose money, I chose power. He said, you chose oil block, I chose power. That's actually what he said. He said, but you don't know that power is where it is. You know, Wike he said my former friend. I said, this beginning of the year, I said that the audacity of Wike, but for you to, like, I was like, sir, like, don't say this thing. I was like, you chose money, I chose power. If you have power, you have money. Look at that. I see it all. Sir Wike, celebrate you. Next up, we have Nigeria moves to cut drug imports with 50 million euro healthcare boost.
All right, let's head on to Premium Times. Governor Lawas, former challenger Madawaike, quit Zamfara cabinet. Soludo appoints 39-year-old woman as Anambra SG. Yeah.
I was so happy. And she's the first.
She's the first. Yeah, she's young.
Yeah. And she's young again. So it's really, really good news.
It is.
Good news for the women folk who are winning small. Moving on to the Nation newspaper, we have Kogi stakeholders back at Jibola Bashiru for APC National Secretary re-election. Next up, we have 2 injured as APC Accord members clashed during INEC CVR exercise in Osun State. Please, we know that tensions are high when it comes to election, plus there's the tension of fuel prices increase. Nigeria is stressful. Please, Mona, do softly, yeah?
Jelly. All right, on the cable, Okeze Ipeazu, Natasha Kpoti call for reconciliation as Wike-backed PDP inaugurate convention committee. Abuse of power. Malami accuses EFCC of taking over his properties without court order.
So, next up, we have Daily Post. Nigerian troops arrest suspect dishing out information to terrorists. That is good, because you know, sometimes you see all those things, you're like, is it possible that there's an insider, they have a mole there? So, yeah, this is it. Next up, we have Osun lawmaker withdraws resignation letter after pressure from Accord.
All right, on the Tribune, APC convention will be fair to all, like it's a governor assures aspirants. Nigeria advances efforts to control small ruminant diseases.
And finally, in the dailies this morning, we have these ones from the pen pushing newspaper. Terrorists blow up bridge in Niger State.
I saw that. I'm like, how are these people going to, if some of them have businesses, or if some of them have to transport something from one place to another, what if they need to get? So people that are going from get to their families, what's happened? If there's an alternative route for them to go, this is not good.
Next up, we have in the pen pushing newspaper finally today, we have abortion palaver. National Youth Service Corps official arraigned in court over death of corps member. We treated this last week on I think we read the headline and then we treated it on her lens. Was it Friday as well? And we're glad to see this movement because the LGI, was it the LGI? Yes. The LGI was
the same yesterday. I read when I was just going through the news last night before I slept off. I read that he was granted bail. Yeah. He was granted bail as of yesterday evening. And in fact, I started getting angry, and that's why I just said, let me sleep. Honestly, there's circumstances surrounding this particular person. Anyway, granting him bail doesn't mean that he's leaving, the country or is, leaving the place, but it just seems as if they're just dousing the whole issue. It's like they're just taking it with levity. That's what it seems to me. But I just hope that, granting him bail does not mean that Nadia end or Nadia everything could just stop. I just hope they'll continue following up the case, investigating deeper to find out what really happened. If not, the life of that lady would just, be one of, many that would just come and go. I just hope they're able to deeply look into it.
Okay, those are the headlines this morning. We've run through them. Now we're about to bring on our analyst for this morning. Remember that we are live on YouTube at WFM 917. You can also listen to us on the go via our website www.wfm917.com. The phone lines are not yet open, but you can send the text messages to 0703 175 537 and 08155 917 917. This is still Women Radio 91.7. The time is 13 minutes to 8, and this is the daily news program with myself. Fumi Rose is here, and bringing on our analyst this morning, Adeolu Adeyemi. Good morning. You are muted.
Good morning, Fumi, and good morning, Rose. Good morning, the entire family of Women Radio all around the world. It's good to be here this morning.
It's good to have you. I was going to even ask, how's your master's program? How's it going?
More. Power.
No, for sure.
Research and research, Neo.
I can imagine. I know somebody would just say, maybe somebody listening now will say, now you say you won't go to school. Nobody will so.
Well, the essence of going to school is to be an authority in your field.
Yeah. I know education is not interesting. I applied for a master's program. Now, when I was going to apply for it, I knew I was applying for the wrong thing. It was an MBA. I knew because that's not my field. But I figured, let me do MBA. Now, MBA is chassis until I attended my first class. Statistics, analytics, business, data. I looked at my husband. I said, babe, well, I've lost money. I literally told him, I said, babe, I've lost money. And he was like, what happened? I said, and the funny thing is, he warned me. Let me not lie. He was like, are you sure that you should just mass communications, corporate, something in that line, journalism? I was like, I can't now. Like, is MBA, like, how bad? Like, they're even going to do something in math. How bad can it be? That was the only class I attended. That money I wasted. I'm not defining. I'm serious. And my husband was just like, I said, I'm serious. So I understand. Because the thing is, I'm doing the wrong. How can I be in communications and journalism and I say I want to go and do something in statistics? How? My defense was that, I studied economics in school. So that was... Anyway.
You know how to say how you finish that economics.
The one was just saying discrete data. I said, what was that? And I was writing. I said, if they ask me to read this thing, I will only cram it and pass, but I understand this. Like company law, some really, really interesting subjects. I said, principles of accounting. The principles of accounting I know is that money comes in, money goes out. Like complicated things. So I wish you all the best. I've opted out from my master's program. Thank God it was not plenty money. It was deposit that I put down. It was plenty money, but I'll use my chest to chest it and
you go again another year.
I'll go again for another one. God, I beg. That was such a wrong. So please, anybody who's listening to me, don't make the same mistake as I made. Before you do it, go for a course. Make sure you research, and make sure that it's something that's in the line of what you're studying, of what you're doing rather. Or if you want to now pivot, maybe it's that you want to go somewhere else. But where you're not pivoting, like maybe you're doing IT, you not say you want to go and do masters in public health. There's no correlation. No, please, I'm using God to beg you. Don't be like me. I'm your sacrificial lamb. Okay, let's get into it. The first headline this morning, I couldn't make a choice out of the first two, so I'm going to see how we can do both of them in a way. The first one is Middle East war may force Nigerians to work from home, and this is Dangote. Aliko Dangote was saying this because the ongoing Middle East crisis could force Nigeria and other African countries to adopt, the COVID era work from home restrictions. Conflict does not de-escalate. Why? And he said he gave his warning after President Bola Ahmed at his Ikoyi residence in Lagos because he was expressing his concern about the economic impact of oil price volatility on the continent that is already burdened by debt. And he said, look, if this doesn't de-escalate, and where I'm really going to is because he said normally we in Africa, we don't have reserves in terms of, and we talked about this last week. I don't remember which one of the analysts we did. I don't know if it was Ademi or Buki last week, how we don't plan. I think it was Buki. We don't plan for the future. There's no contingency plan. There's no emergency fund anywhere. And typically what happens is you have people who go out today to go and work, because if they don't go out to work today, they are not going to eat. He now cited Indonesia's response to energy crisis pressure. He said the authorities had asked workers to operate only 4 days a week, and they're now considering full work from home arrangements similar to the COVID-19 pandemic. I think that whenever we have situations like this in Nigeria, it is imperative that companies, organizations are sensitive to the needs of Nigerians, because personally, I think that it is very, very insensitive. It is, I don't want to say wicked, when organizations are still insisting that people come to work, knowing that oil has increased, knowing that prices of transport have also increased. It's unfair, to be honest, to tell them to come to work. You're not increasing their take home. You're not giving them transportation allowance that is different from maybe what is already calculated into their funds, and yet you are doing this. I think because salaries are not going up, and that's why I really did applaud. Was it Governor Makinde who is adding 10,000 naira for allowance? Is it really going to do anything? No, but it's saying that, look, I see you, which is really what we as Nigerians want our government officials to say. I see you. We're trying to make sure that we can, offset the impact of this. We have businesses that are going to start crumbling. We have barber shops who, because of also we have the light situation, we have bread sellers, we have industries that are dependent on generators for power, because our power situation right now has even gotten worse. So I don't even think this is a case of prayer. This is a case of we need to find an immediate solution, or a temporary solution, pending the time that the war, in Iran, the war between Iran, US, and Israel ends. Then the second headline, I don't know, should I do this one first? Other organizations, it's still like within the same line. We had NECA, NLC, LCCI, ASBON all coming together to complain, to say that, look, the worsening impact of the rising global oil prices is affecting businesses. People are losing their jobs. People are closing their businesses, because if you close business, nobody gets job again. And they all have come out to say, look, we need to figure out a way. And one thing that NECA noted was that the spike in crude oil prices, rather than translate into economic gains, is creating a paradox where, even though there's oil revenue, right? Production, we have production costs rising, we have living costs rising. I mean, I've sort of like set a backdrop for this, but I want Ademi to go ahead and speak on this questions. Go ahead, Ademi.
Thank you very much for me. We are going to look at it in different angles. One, you talk about why are employers, allowing their workers to stay back home? You see, it depends on the operation of the
organization.
company. Do you understand? If it's a production company, there's no way the employee will sit at home.
True.
They have to be in the factory to produce.
True.
But when you're talking about where services are being rendered, where you can do it remotely, that could be done. Then coming to the effect of the crisis that we have in Nigeria today, and the untold hardship that is creating on Nigerians, I would say, yeah, you mentioned Governor Makinde, who have decided to add 10,000 to the salary of the civil servants in your state. But like you said, yeah, kudos, but that wouldn't solve the problem. Yeah, what I'm looking at is this. Now, the oil subsidy was removed, and that subsidy that was removed actually created an enabling environment where the allocation that goes to the states monthly has tripled, which means that it is because of this that the governors are enjoying what they are enjoying today. So now we have a crisis. And that crisis has to do with these same gains that they are enjoying. What can they do? What can the governors, the state governors, and the federal government do to help the situation? We have a refinery in Nigeria, a big refinery that can supply all the petroleum products to Nigerian market and to the West African markets. What can they do? Are we not supposed to enter into a pact as a government and as a people with Dangote refinery? This is time for a temporary subsidy to be implemented. How do you implement it? You pay to Dangote the differences so that Nigerians can be able to afford, so that they can buy this product at a cheaper price. If the price is still tagged at 900, the cost of living will not be too as terrible as it is today. So the government has to look into that direction. And perhaps there should be a presidential order. Now we said the monthly allocation is tripled. There's something should be done about it. There must be an agreement between the governor and the federal government. Maybe it should now be double instead of triple. That difference, that variation, should not be used as a subsidy so that Nigerians can have it all. When you talk about this, the 10,000, it's only for civil servants. It does not affect the business people. And in Nigerian populace, you know that we have more business people than the civil servants. So what are we talking about? It still goes on the same way. And that means that whatever the civil servants are earning will be nothing at the end of the day, because the business people will always implant whatever cost that they are, that is affecting them in their businesses. So that doesn't make any difference. So the only way out as it is in this matter is that the government should come up with a relief subsidy. It is not palliative. We witnessed it when the subsidy was newly removed way back then. Palliative, we didn't do anything. And it's not going to go around to everybody. So that's the honest truth. But what is going to go around to everybody is the government coming, to introduce a temporary subsidy by, paying some difference, having a part with Dangote refinery being the major refinery that is, selling the petroleum product to Nigeria at the moment. So I think that's the best thing that we do. With that direction, I think there will be a relief for you and I. And it's not funny. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's not funny. Just yesterday night, I have to pay 80,000 naira for fuel. This money, every day, that's how I pay it every day. No, it's not funny. And yesterday afternoon, when I was driving on Coastal Road, I was held up in traffic for almost 2 hours because of the. Oh yeah, that's the truth. I couldn't go to where I was going anymore. I have to turn back because I got there around 3 and it was already 5. So what exactly am I going to do? So I have to turn back. So, and you can't just be in the traffic. You are running, your vehicle is running. So you are burning fuel. So it's a lot of issues that we need to tackle. And like I said, the only way out, the simplest way out, which would be reasonable, is for the government to enter into a pact with Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery, whatever decision it is taking with Dangote Refinery, will reflect in all the filling stations in Nigeria, and that will help the situation as it is today in Nigeria.
But if you're saying that we should the Dangote Refinery, how does I'm not sure how that would, because the argument is that we don't have enough crude, or that Dangote Refinery is not able to serve the whole country. That's just one refinery to serve millions and millions and millions of Nigerians. How does that work?
Who says that Dangote Refinery does not have enough? Don't forget that the essence of establishing Dangote Refinery, when it was establishing that refinery, said is going to serve the whole of West Africa. West Africa, is Nigeria not included in West Africa?
True.
And if Nigeria is included in West Africa, that means Nigeria is just a country in West Africa. So if you can meet up with all other African countries, and that means we are included, that means excesses are there already. So what really is the problem is this? It has to do with NNPC. Because of the money they are making from importation. That's a problem, and the crude oil being sold outside to foreign countries, and particularly with the mortgaging the future of oil revenue in Nigeria by the past government, mortgaging the future of Nigerians through that. They've sold ahead. That's a problem that we are having actually. So outside that, and I know as it is, all things being equal, you see, charity begins at home. If the government is actually interested in the welfare of the people, there is no way they will not enter into a pact with Dangote Refinery. Everybody understands what is happening all around the world. We know today that there is oil crisis based on the war that is ongoing in the Middle East between United States of America, Israel, and Iran. And with that, there is no way that you must provide for your home front first before you can even meet the needs of anybody outside there. So as it is, there is no way. What the government can do is to buy that part that is causing hardship for you and I by the way of subsidy. That is the only way out. Politics wouldn't do anything. You are in the radio industry. I beg, tell me. Some will not be able to pay you people. You don't kill that woman. You people should understand. You are running on diesel 24/7. At the point in time, you know that we have to streamline the programs. On the radio. I'm talking about way back 2019. So many things happened and 2020. So, but as it is today, let us look at it as a people. What can government do to help the situation? It is called temporal subsidy relief. It's not going to be a permanent thing. The moment the crisis ends and the situation becomes normal, then that subsidy will be removed. We'll go the same way that we've been living. And with that, Nigerians will know that, okay, this government actually care for the Nigerian people. So that's what matters. Whatever you do as a government, you do it to the betterment of your people. It is not because you want to make money and your people will continue to cry and be dying. No, you are there for their welfare. You are there for their goodwill. You are there for their prosperity. That is the essence of governance. Governance is not just about policy only. It's not just about raking money into your coffer. It is about how do you better the lot of the people that you're governing. That is governance. That's the essence why you have government in the first place, so that the resources, the collective resources of the people can be used for the betterment of the people. That's the essence of government. So where there are situations like this, where crisis is high, and where things are going up, so astronomically, then the best the government can do is to come in, mitigate it. And how can they mitigate it in this situation? Is by introducing temporary subsidy relief through petroleum products, because that's actually what has transcend and has affected all the sphere of the economy. Everything we do with power, whether it's transportation, whether it's businesses, all things, even in your homes. Like you said, ladies now go about putting dusting powder on their faces, on their body here and there. Yes, I had a friend who told me that, oh, please, can you help me with generator, our own, this, I love, I said, madam, me too. You know, easy now, but God will help us. So please, go do something in that respect. Thank you.
Absolutely. Rose, you want to say something?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay, this is still Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. This is it is past 8 this morning, and we've just been talking about how this fuel price is affecting our destiny in this country, literally, because it's getting out of hand. I'm hoping that this war doesn't continue. This fight doesn't continue to the end of the year. I'm hoping that it even ends by this month. But from the looks of things, we don't know, because everybody ego is at play here. I think I was reading today how President Trump was saying that Iran has said. So the issue is that Iran they have nuclear power. America is like, no, why should you have nuclear power? Yeah. That's what we did, where we did, literally. So we're hoping that this just is something that is now beginning to affect, the whole world. But with that being said, the government still needs to do something. That one goes without saying. The government needs to do something about this. And earlier I was reading about all these organizations talking about how these prices are threatening businesses, are threatening jobs, and even threatening lives. Thankfully, schools will be on holiday, maybe this week, at very most next week, so the parents can have a little bit of relief. But the other hand of that is that when children are at home, they eat like they are monsters. They eat like there's a monster in their stomach. So if maybe you used to give your children 2 square meals, they're going to start eating like 10 square meals every 2 minutes. Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I'm hungry. So it's not really, is it really cheaper? It's not. Maybe you're not paying transport money anymore, but you're going to give them food, to eat. And then there's also the health perspective of this, because now children are not eating enough. They're not eating well again. Nutrition is suffering because of these things. People who could barely survive or could barely make ends meet, could not even eat meat. And we're managing egg. They cannot even eat egg anymore. And then so these kids cannot even do 3 square meals. I don't know. God will help us. That's really it. God will really help us. Anyway, let's move on to the next headline for this morning. Electoral Act, ADC, LP, NNPP, others kick against exclusion of certificate forgery. So we know that.
Just before you go on for me, let's just start the online once again. Do not send in your WhatsApp messages to 0743 56537 or 917 do what also dial 07000 917 917 or 09155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning. Don't forget, we're live on YouTube at WFM 917. You can also go ahead and follow us on social media. Our social media handles are there, WFM 917, and of course listen to us live from any part of the world. All right, let's pick up this call before we head on. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. My cake
Your cake is ready, sir. Yes, it's ready.
Happy birthday. Long
Thank
life.
you. Amen. Thank you, sir.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I been listening to you, and I believe all you said. You know, sometimes when I just have decided sometimes not to look at the newspaper. What I always say that if we love ourselves and love our country, Nigeria will not be able to do. This is happening. This is happening. I know it's a global something, but the way we are in this country is too much. Actually, the government, not only federal, you know, we was pushing to the state to do something, and it is true. The subsidy removed is they actually say their money is triple, and the free buses. I know Africa states have free buses. They have free buses. All this other, let us say just increase their BRT. Is it supposed to be safe? Let's have free buses from these governors so that thing can even push in. Why federal government on their own too? We try to do something. What is making a refinery not to work? Can state build a refinery? This individual can build a refinery. Who do all this? If a refinery is working, I don't know if you face all these things. Now, you can even say that we should refine and set our, people. So we see that for this main time, we forget about it because people are really suffering. That's why I say sometimes we don't really love ourselves in this country. Where are the opposition? What are they? All is to grab power. Why can't they tell me this is what it is? We know that yes, they get their ability. The planets can die. We take over power. We take over power. Make sure that they will be better. Should think twice before we do things. You cannot really get me not doing anything. I know sometimes some of us and some places where we are, people all are doing the right thing. I don't know Nigeria will do it. The government should do something like that. And we also pretend to do the right thing. Anyway, our refinery should work. We should have plan when something like this. Because this can still happen. If it happens again, we still go into this. No plan. Because I don't know government have plan for it. It's a global thing. This government should do something. People are suffering. People are dying. And you are coming to see until you give back to a child and raise that, that's when you know what we went through in bringing people up. That's why the stage you are now. Take care of your parents. And I told my children take care of it. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Nigeria be great today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon, for calling. All right, you can also do the same, 07000 917 917 or 09155 917 917. Hello, good morning.
Hi, Rose. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Abuli. You're welcome.
Thank you for slowing me down. The birthday game is always on the go. Now flight sabi fly. I don't want to mention him. For me, happy belated birthday.
You know what mention him, Madami.
She won't fly, enter the second story. She don't forget say the family of newspaper review then they here.
One another vex.
Mr. Adeyemi, good morning, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
He can hear you. You're muted instead. Okay.
Okay.
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my sister.
May you succeed in your master's program in Jesus' name. Thank you for teaching us something about what happened to you. What happened to you will not happen to us. Don't worry.
Amen.
I beg you don't birthday cake. All right, on to serious issues. Mr. Adeyemi, you've given a laudable explanation of how we can solve age-long crisis of wealth. But my question really is this morning. I don't think we should be, although I don't know if you said that, but our refineries have gone moribund, and I don't think, but we don't die. I don't think we should come and start operating it or picking it up. But my question is, so now we can go and meet Dangote to partner with him for cushioning effect. That's a laudable one. With what Dangote faced before he was able to establish his refinery in this Nigeria, I don't even feel the Nigerian government will feel near him, but it is what it is. Thank God for Dangote, because now Nigeria is getting accolades because of Dangote refinery, in spite of what that man's eyes saw in this country. Now, if Dangote can single-handedly build a refinery, Mr. DM, why can't Nigeria get a new refinery? Please permit my ignoramus state of mind this morning. Consider me a layman, a Jew girl that knows nothing. But I am asking this salient question because four refineries, we can add it together and say it is just one refinery. But if we don't want to sell it off, maybe because it is a heritage, whatever it is we call it, it's just there, defunct, consuming money. Yes, but no, that is what our refineries are. What do you think we can do? Because a time will come and Dangote will be like, I know what I face, and Dangote will just solve everybody and not do anything because it's a monopolistic race it is that is, cruising through right now. But I am saying, why can't Nigeria come up with its own refinery and say, okay, this is what will serve us? Is our fuel a cost or a blessing? Because I wonder, you will have water everywhere, but none to drink. The same way we are exporting light to outsiders, and we have it in short supply. Togo is asking for more light now, but our own people are groaning under the weight of what we should have insufficient. So, if we are true that we are a force to reckon with, a nation to reckon with, fuel-wise, crude oil-wise, why can't we come up with our own refinery? I think my question is clear. Good morning, and thanks for your submission this morning. We'll go to catch later. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli, for calling. And she has asked some, salient questions here. Actually, all that is going on, feel and all of that. And there's something that again, talking about, Muslim Hill. So, and just now I'm reading, from my former radio station where I worked in Kaduna, and one of the popular OAPs presents sports there, and he went on social media and he's putting heartbreak emoji, and I'm wondering, did this guy lose somebody or something? And the next a post I'm seeing is that, oh, pray for that radio station. What happened now? I'm now seeing another one that, oh, the cost of diesel is going really high and radio stations are closing down or are shutting down. I'm like, hey, where are we heading to like this? All right. And then there are other people who are coming out to say, oh, pray for that radio station, because that's like the first private radio station we had, in Kaduna before others came up. So a lot of people are actually, on it or listening to it. So it just goes to show you that imagine so many other businesses, that would probably close down, and which is a source of livelihood for the people. So what, where do we, or rather, where are we heading to with all of this? We not say, not be saying our faults, not be saying, our own, although even if you want to look at it, there are some factors that is, that contribute that from us. But this is probably beyond the average Nigerian. All right, this is beyond the average Nigerian. So how can the government actually work together with them? They call them, but they sit down and say, okay, what can we do to help our people? How can we make things better for our people? How do we come together with all of the refineries that we have? How do we make all of this just work out? So yeah, Mrs. Oboli asked some salient questions there, and I'll just like Ademi to respond to some of the things that Mrs. Oboli has mentioned.
Thank you very much, my sister, and thank you, Rose. You see, our problem is just being selfish. That's the problem that we have. We are ego-centered. We are people who doesn't care about the other person. If not, there is no reason why the refineries that belongs to Nigeria should not be working as it is today. You know what actually killed that refinery? It's because of a lot of corruption that was really endemic in that sector. You see, at the point in Nigeria, some people, what they just do is get allocation, set their paper allocation. And, you end up finding out that even this oil subsidy that was removed, we had at the time that, products that were being produced in Nigeria from our refinery will be taken to the IC and will be returned back to us. And they will now be collecting subsidy also on it. So you see, a lot of corruption actually is the reason why you see the refinery is not working. Not that the refinery is that absolute to the extent that it cannot work. The refinery can be revamped. But I think the government and the people, those people that are actually saddled with the responsibility to manage and to, workers in that sector, they are one of our major problems. They have seen that place as a cash cow, so they don't care, and knowing fully well that they can always get from somewhere else, and we Nigerians be who we are. We easily let go of anything. We are not the people who wants to fight and destroy things. We want to live our life. We don't want our life to be cut short. So, and they have come to understand that that's why Obasanjo was able to say, when he was the president way back between 1999 and 2007, when there is crisis, he will just say that, don't worry about them. Just give them 1 week. By the time the hunger, mama then, and then go say they want to go to work. That's the problem that we have. Until we are able, I said something and I'm going to reiterate it. I always say that's what I say all the time. Until we the people, until we are able to stand up, until we are able to continue to speak up for our right. You see, the way they make this money, importing it, they give license to themselves. It makes it easier for them. They make billions on this importation. Even those who sell the crude oil, they make billions on it. So that's why you see they don't care. All they care about is themselves, their family, how they become the richest among you and I. That's the problem we have in this country. But as it is, the refinery can work if truly they want it to work. You see, so many games placed underneath. Before the refinery got to where it is today, that you and I were saying the refinery is literally dead, you know that some people play the game to that level. Mm-hmm. Some people play the game to that level. They wanted to buy it. They wanted to sell it to themselves. So they will have to kill it so that you and I could see that it's dead. That it does not have any lifeline. So the only way out is for it to be sold. And for others also, for their businesses to thrive, for their business to be established in the first instance, some things has to give way. That's what happened to our refinery. That is what happened to our refinery because of the people in government and their cronies. That is what killed the Nigerian refineries, nothing else. Even at the point, you know that the Nigerian refinery was still producing. Though it may not be optimum, but they were still producing. But now, it's not even there completely. That's the honest truth. I think what is important is that, like we always say, this investigative journalism is key to whatever progress that we are going to achieve in this nation. You are the people that are going to help us in this field, people in the journalism family. You see, you need to really go deep down. You have to know what exactly, it's not just we coming on air every day. We need to have information, basic information about the happenings, why things are not working, or the reason and the people behind it. These are very important. These are cogent for us to make progress. With that, we'll be able to know where the problem lies. All we have been hearing is what they are saying to us. It is information that is being passed to us. We don't have, tangible information that we are able to source ourselves, that we can actually rely on. We don't even know if truly those refineries are really dead. Maybe some of the products that they are importing are even coming from that refinery. That's the honest truth. The product they said they are importing from Venezuela, they are importing from Seychelles, they are importing from this, they actually be coming from there. But we don't have people who are actually into really, thorough investigative journalism to help us with this. A lot of things are shady to you and I that we don't know until we are able to unravel, until we are able to bring out the facts and evidences of what is happening in that sector. We'll continue to rabberize. We'll continue to just, say the same thing and we'll not move away from where we are. Instead, we'll just be sitting down, lay back. We don't want to lay back as a people. If we really need to progress, I'm saying it, you journalists, you are the 4 people in the forefront that can do that. It is whatever information that we are equipped with, it is what which we can now go ahead and fight with. But when we don't have information, there's nothing we can fight with. And that's what Nigerians as a people are holding on to, and that's what they are waiting for.
All right, thank you very much, Adeyemi. I think this is where we'll just call it a day right here. Like I said yesterday, we can't all be shouting, "Oh, Nigeria this, Nigeria that." What are you doing in your own corner to make it better? Yes, we know that a lot is going on in the country. Governance, politics, and all of that. But what are you doing from your own corner? All right, so that's it for today right here from myself and Gumi on the Daily News Review. Thank you so much, Adeyemi, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
All right, so wish you all the best in the master's program.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Fumina, here we go jam our break, Abby. Tomorrow we're here. God's willing. Yeah.
Yes. 9 o'clock is the news, 9:05 is her lens. Stick around with us. And then it's funny. Bye for now.